Hey everyone, and welcome back to XRP Insider. As always, I'm here with another exciting XRP update that you won't want to miss. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day wherever you're watching from around this amazing world of ours. The legacy question. Let's kick things off with something that really caught my attention. A top trader just posted, "The 24 recovery phrases to my XRP wallet will die with me." Now that's intense, right? It reminds me of what Michael Saylor said about his Bitcoin. When he's gone, it goes with him. But here's where it gets interesting. While some holders are taking their crypto to the grave, many in the XRP community are actually doing the opposite. They're already setting up ways to pass their XRP down to their children and grandchildren. We're even seeing blockchain wills becoming a real thing. A different perspective. Here's my take, and maybe this is just me thinking out loud, but what if we left our XRP to a good cause? I mean, imagine the difference that could make in people's lives. Now, I get it. Most folks want to follow the traditional path of inheritance, and that's totally fine. But think about it. XRP could literally change the world if we directed it toward causes that matter. Just food for thought. The big numbers. Here's where it gets exciting. Now, let's talk about what everyone really wants to know. The AI predictions about XRP's future. And folks, these numbers are exactly what I've been telling you. $10,000 to $50,000 per XRP. Wait, what? Let me break this down for you, how we get there. Once XRP achieves full global institutional adoption, and I'm talking about the whole package here, SWIFT integration, DTCC implementation, real-world asset tokenization, CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, commodities trading, global value transfer on the XRP ledger. When all of this comes together, the sustainable price range would need to be between $10,000 and $50,000 per XRP. Here's why. $10,000, lower bound. This would handle SWIFT scale flows plus real-world assets. $50,000, upper bound. This covers everything. SWIFT, DTCC, real-world assets, gold, CBDCs, all without any network congestion. The timeline, closer than you think. So when does this magical transformation happen? Here's my prediction, and mark my words on this. I believe we're only 24 months away from seeing the early signs of this massive shift. In fact, it might happen even sooner. With ISO 20022 going live next month, we could see acceleration that nobody's expecting. Think about it. We're already on this path. The train has left the station, folks. The connections are already there. What people don't realize is that Ripple has already secured most of these partnerships. The pieces of the puzzle are falling into place as we speak. The connections are made. The infrastructure is building. And this is going to happen. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. The short-term explosion. Now, before we get to those massive numbers, let's talk about what's coming in the short term. Get ready for a parabolic explosion. Everyone in the know understands that this explosion is coming for XRP's price. In this current cycle alone, we're looking at $50 plus. And honestly, I think that's being conservative. My gut tells me we're going much, much higher. The momentum is building. The institutional money is lining up. And when this takes off, it's going to be unlike anything we've seen before. Closing thoughts. So, there you have it, XRP family. The future isn't just bright, it's absolutely blazing. Whether you're holding for your family's future or thinking about the greater good, one thing's for certain. XRP is positioning itself to become the backbone of the global financial system. What do you think? Are you ready for what's coming? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you're as excited as I am. Chart analysts are getting even more bullish. And get this, a lot of the chart analysts are now pushing their price predictions even higher. They're factoring in 3 massive catalysts: the upcoming ETFs, regulatory clarity finally arriving, ISO 2022 implementation. But here's the thing. We need to watch how this actually unfolds. We need to see that initial money flow into the ETFs. How much pours in during those first few weeks? That's going to tell us everything. And when regulatory clarity hits, the big question is, will we see a gradual climb? Or are we talking about massive spike after massive spike? With institutional adoption on the horizon, we're not quite there yet. But folks, we all know it's about to happen. Crypto was created for AI, the game changer. Now, this next part is huge. Raoul Pal just dropped this bombshell. Crypto was created for AI.
What is an agent? An agent is AI, which is compute plus energy.
Right.
They need to be paid because they cost money. It's small amounts of money, but we're going to ask them to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And agents will ask other agents to do things, or agents to robots. So Damien's agent needs his house cleaned today. So it contacts the robot gets in the robo-taxi, comes to your house, does the cleaning, so spends some time using energy and compute, and leaves.
Yes.
Now, what are you going to do? Give it your credit card? Leave it cash and a tip? No. It just happens instantaneously by crypto rails. So agents will pay agents. So this is the future of money.
And this isn't like, one day maybe. This isn't Star Trek.
Oh, no, this is already starting to happen.
Yeah.
It's already starting to happen. And within 5 years, it'll be commonplace.
Yeah.
So again, if you think about it, you need to permission your agent or your robot to do something which will employ others to do the task, of which they need to be paid micropayments.
Yes.
You're not going to, they're going to send you an invoice?
Yeah.
That's how the world works now. It's so dumb, right? So what you do is, is you permission your agent to do certain things on your behalf, and it takes that proof and goes out and does it.
Did you catch what I've been telling you all along? You're literally holding the robot money when you're holding XRP. And here's the key. He specifically mentioned micropayments. Think about that for a second. You can't do micropayments with Bitcoin. The fees would eat you alive. But with XRP, with XLM, XDC, HBAR, and these other next-gen cryptocurrencies, micropayments are not just possible. They're practical. The early signs are already here. This isn't some distant future we're talking about. By 2030, but let's be real, probably by 2028, this will be mainstream. Not everyone on the planet, sure, but most people will already be leaning into this technology by then. Ripple CEO drops the privacy bomb. Here's what the Ripple CEO just confirmed as the next stage for XRP's institutional adoption. And it's exactly what I predicted. Privacy. Listen carefully. This is why Ripple developed their privacy features. It's absolutely key to institutional adoption. Let me be crystal clear about this. You will not get institutional adoption without privacy. It's just not happening. Period. And once again, Ripple shows why they're the masters of timing. They always seem to pivot at the perfect moment to align with institutional needs. And that institutional wave? It's coming over the next few months. The truth banks can no longer deny. Here's where it gets really interesting. The truth is becoming so undeniable that even the largest banks and financial institutions are now openly admitting it. They need to interact with crypto to stay relevant. Why? Because blockchain isn't just another innovation in a long line of tech upgrades. No, it's the new financial infrastructure. We're talking about a complete rewrite of how money moves around the world. The rules are being rewritten. Think about what's happening right now. Tokenization is reshaping everything. On-chain yield is becoming the new normal. Digital assets are literally rewriting the rules of capital markets. The same banks that once laughed at crypto, they're now building products with it. The same institutions that called it a scam, they're tokenizing assets and integrating them into regulated global finance. And here's the kicker. Those sophisticated yield strategies that only big institutions could access, they'll soon be available to every crypto holder. That means you. That means me. That means everyone watching this video. What this means for you. So let me connect the dots here. We're not just talking about price appreciation anymore. We're talking about XRP becoming the backbone of AI to AI transactions, micropayment economies, institutional private transactions, the entire tokenized asset ecosystem. The convergence is happening right now. AI needs crypto. Institutions need privacy. The world needs efficient micropayments, and XRP is positioned at the center of all of it. The banking revolution is here, and it's mandatory. We're standing at the edge of a complete financial revolution. Here's the reality. Participation in crypto is no longer optional for banks. It's mandatory. And you know what? They're going to want to earn money from this. Big time. Banks are about to roll out so many different ways for people to invest in crypto through traditional systems. Systems that are rapidly converting to digital. And here's the beautiful part. This is exactly how you'll be able to generate passive income. They're going to open up options you've never even dreamed of. And get this, most likely, your crypto will eventually be FDIC insured. We're not quite there yet, but when this happens, it's going to happen fast. Like, blink and you'll miss it fast. The theory that changes everything. How XRP takes over Bitcoin. Now, I want you to hear this interesting theory about how XRP could actually overtake Bitcoin. This is crucial.
What is your theory around XRP overtaking Bitcoin as a market leader? What do you think?
Bendo, would you like to go on this, or you're asking me?
Go ahead. Either one of you can hit it.
Yeah, so I do believe that at some point, well, first of all, it's important to understand that, and this ties into the DXY as well, that all cryptocurrencies are driven by liquidity. That's the primary driver of financial assets and financial markets. Now, crypto, Bitcoin, even XRP happens to be the most sensitive risk-on asset to liquidity. So a very high correlation. So when these technologies really start to receive stable liquidity inflows on their network, essentially, they're going to derive their value from use case and adoption. And that will stabilize some of these prices. So the question is, if Bitcoin was a store of value, then why did it dump around April during when Trump announced Liberation Day and the bond market took a hit and yields spiked, crypto dumped, when if it was a store of value, it should have actually stabilized or even risen in price.
Exactly.
That alone tells me that this is not store of value. So, and actually gold actually rose that time. So what's interesting here is if we're talking about store of value, 16 years is not enough history to determine whether something is a store of value or not. I mean, Bernie Madoff ran his Ponzi for almost 20 years. So I'm not saying that's the case here, but I still think it's too early to determine whether Bitcoin will even be a store of value in the next 30, 40, 50 years. Because 16 years is too early. We don't even have regulations. And I don't think any country in the world is going to make an asset a store of value while still playing the game of we don't know who created it. The truth is they were behind it. Intelligence agencies, some of these venture capital firms funding it with the central banks. All the breadcrumbs and the trails are there that support that thesis, that theory, excuse me. So I believe at the end of the day, some of these technologies will begin to stabilize over time and not behave like a risk-on asset as they are today. And that will come from real network adoption and utility over time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process. Now, I believe when that time comes, if Bitcoin doesn't have any real-world utility in terms of what it was supposedly designed to do, every narrative has fallen apart. Store of value, that's not.
This is exactly what I've been saying this entire time. Bitcoin does not look like a good store of value. I've pointed this out video after video. Here's the pattern. Every single time a crisis breaks out somewhere in the world, what happens? Bitcoin immediately starts dumping. every single time. But as we start seeing real utility with XRP, actually being used for its intended purpose, that's going to strengthen XRP fundamentally. And that, my friends, is how it eventually takes over Bitcoin. The NSA Bitcoin bombshell. And he's not wrong about this next part. The NSA is who created Bitcoin. Don't believe me? Listen to what Lynette Zhang has to say.
But number one, I started watching Bitcoin when it was about $7 a coin. So I've been watching this evolution. I do not think that it's an accident that Bitcoin came out to the public in January of 2009 and quantitative easing. So all that free massive amount of money came out in March of 2009. And I've also read the 1996 NSA white paper. So that's an American government agency.
National Security Agency.
Exactly, on how to make a mint. And if you go in, I mean, it's open source, you can go in and read it, and you're going to find a lot of similarities. So there was, frankly, no doubt in my mind that in 2008, when they let Shearson go out, that the system had died. And it was put on life support to get the new system ready. And the new system was already, I mean, this isn't something that was magical. That's why Bitcoin came out in January of 2009. Because let me ask you, how much money do you think would have gone into this? Since you're absolutely right, there's the same fundamental belief. But how much more money would have gone into this?
Yeah, gold would have been $30,000 an ounce or something, yeah.
Oh, well, God knows what it would be.
Yeah, but
because you would have
levels,
had
yeah.
Exactly. And actually that's only in terms of dollars. We should talk about fundamental value another time. So I believe that Bitcoin was a Trojan horse and is a Trojan horse to get people comfortable, get enough adoption to then go into this next surveillance economy.
Bitcoin's real purpose revealed. Here's what Bitcoin was really meant to do. Get people to adopt a new financial system. It was the training wheels, the test run, the way to get humanity ready for what's actually coming. But here's the kicker. The new financial system is not going to run on Bitcoin. It's going to run on XRP, XLM, XD, CH, BAR, QNT, IoT, AALGO. These are the cryptocurrencies of the future. Why? Because they do everything that Bitcoin couldn't do. They solved all of Bitcoin's problems. Bitcoin was just a test coin from day one. ISO 20022. Companies are front-running the ETF wave. Pay attention to this next part because it's happening right now. ISO 20022 compliant crypto companies are positioning themselves ahead of the next massive ETF wave. XRP, HBAR, and XLM are all aligning with Fedwire and Swift upgrades that go live by 2025. Think about that. The same rails that traditional finance runs on are about to pull in institutional liquidity. We're talking about a fully regulated altcoin season, and it's coming early. How ETFs accelerate everything. Here's exactly how ETFs are about to accelerate altcoin season for ISO projects. Massive inflows. Coming. Institutional money through spot ETFs, Rex, Osprey, and others. We're talking billions in fresh capital. Direct boost to liquidity and prices. The numbers are insane. Analysts are predicting $5 to $30 billion flowing into XRP alone by Q1 2026. And here's where it gets even better. That money will spill over to HBAR and XLM through index funds. Think about what this means. They're going to push up the price of XRP so it can actually be utilized within ISO 2022. People will argue that XRP needs to be at least 3 digits to function properly within the system. And they're probably right. The regulatory timeline is syncing up. Everything is aligning perfectly. SEC's generic listing standards are fast-tracking approvals. XRP decision window, October 18th to 25th. Mark your calendars. HBAR approval, originally June, now pushed to September 9th. The regulatory green lights are coming, and when they do, the floodgates open. Final thoughts. The convergence is real. So here's what we're looking at, XRP family. Banks must adopt crypto. It's not optional anymore. Passive income opportunities are about to explode. XRP is positioned to overtake Bitcoin through actual utility. ISO 2022 compliance is the golden ticket. ETF money is about to flood in by the billions. Three-digit XRP isn't just possible, it might be necessary. We are not talking about some distant future. This is happening now. The pieces are falling into place faster than most people realize. Are you positioned for what's coming? Because once this train leaves the station, there's no catching up. Drop a comment below if you're ready for this revolution. Smash that like button if this information opened your eyes, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because things are about to move fast. This is XRP Insider, and remember, stay strong, stay informed, and most importantly, stay ready for what's coming. XLM following the same path, but with a twist. XLM is following the exact same trajectory. But here's the twist. With the government shutdown, everything just got pushed ahead even more. The timeline is accelerating, folks. Price catalysts and capital rotation. The numbers you need to know. Once these ETF approvals hit, expect massive capital rotation. Here are the conservative estimates, and I mean conservative. The 3x to 10x surge coming. XRP $15 to $30 minimum. HBAR 60 cents and climbing. XLM blowing past its 40-cent all-time high, heading straight for $1. And when does this happen? When Bitcoin dominance dips below 50%. That's when the rotation begins. That's when funds flow from Bitcoin into altcoins. And if you're positioned early, you're golden. The July 2025 catalyst nobody's talking about. Mark this date, July 2025. XRP futures and future ETFs. Prices have already spiked just on the anticipation. The ISO compliance narrative is drawing in massive players. Santander is in, IBM is building on it, banks are lining up. This creates what I call the adoption loop. ETFs legitimize these tokens for pension funds, endowments, and institutional investors. This enables CBDC pilots and real-world asset tokenization. It's all connected. The Hedera bombshell. They're predicting $3 billion plus flowing into Hedera this altcoin season. $3 billion! And that's going to massively increase on-chain activity across the board. Don't forget, XLM's Protocol 23 upgrade hits in Q3 2025. And here's what nobody's noticing. Whale accumulation is outpacing non-compliant altcoins by a massive margin. The smart money knows what's coming. This isn't just about XRP anymore. Let me be crystal clear. This is going to be a crazy altcoin season. Not just for XRP, but for XLM, HBAR, XDC, every ISO-compliant cryptocurrency project. These are going to be huge. And yet people are still downplaying ISO 20022 like it's not a big deal. They're going to get left behind. Warning, FTX scam alert. Quick but important warning here. FTX just issued an alert about fraudulent emails circulating during their $1.6 billion creditor payout. Think about how sick this is. Scammers are targeting people who already lost money with FTX. The vultures are circling, and they're getting more sophisticated. Critical security reminder. Listen carefully to what I'm about to say, because this could save your entire portfolio. Get your crypto off the exchanges. I'm telling you right now, when XRP really starts to break out, you're going to see a lot of these exchanges mysteriously going down. They'll cite congestion, technical issues, maintenance. But here's the truth they won't tell you. They don't want you selling at the top. They don't want you taking profits at certain price points. It happens every single time. The regulation wildcard. With regulations around the corner, we don't even know which exchanges are going to make it through. Some of these platforms might not even exist in 6 months. Don't be the person who loses everything because you were too lazy to move your crypto to a secure wallet. The time to act is now, while everything is calm.
Here's what you need to remember. ISO coins are about to explode. Get your crypto off exchanges before the surge. Watch for scams. They're everywhere and getting smarter. The July 2025 catalyst is already affecting prices. $3 billion is coming to Hedera alone. Until this happens, stay patient. But more importantly, stay prepared. Your action plan. Right now, before you watch another video, check if your crypto is still on an exchange. Move it. Research ISO 2022 if you haven't already. Set price alerts for XRP at $15, $30, and higher. Prepare mentally for the volatility that's coming. This revolution won't wait for anyone. The question is, will you be ready when it arrives? If this information just saved your portfolio, smash that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? The biggest wealth transfer in history is about to begin. This is XRP Insider, reminding you one last time. Stay strong, stay secure, and stay ready for the explosion that's coming.